Christmas, everyone. And I am really grateful for the chance to come on and share with you just a little mini training on revenue models for data startups. Yeah, I guess Kate's already got everything on the stage and everything. I'm just making sure I've got the whole setup kind of figured out here. And yeah, Kate mentioned add hyperspeed, and so yeah, I'll be addressing that portion at the end. But if you are ready to take your data skills or data resources and convert them, how can we make this bigger? Sorry, I was hoping to make, yeah, and convert them to new revenue streams almost overnight, then this training should be right up your alley, because I'm about to show you the top 4 revenue models for data startups and how to go about monetizing at hyperspeed. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So in case you haven't met or we haven't met yet, I'm Lillian Pierson, and I help data professionals transform to world-class data leaders and entrepreneurs. So over the past 2 years, I've supported data professionals just like you to take their data skills and apply them to generate new revenue streams that have generated over $3.4 million collectively. And that would be clients like Kim Lee, who has generated $370,000 in 18 months at a 67% profit margin outside of a 9-to-5 employment position. So we're going to talk about revenue models and the 4 best types of revenue models for data startups, and then I'll try and help you figure out which would be the fastest way for you to monetize given your current circumstance. In case you're not sure what exactly is a revenue model, it's really just the portion of the business model that describes how a company earns its money. Of course, I cover all of this in the 3rd edition of my book, Data Science for Dummies, but let's just look at them really quickly here. The first revenue model that works really well for data startups is unit sales. And essentially, this is just the direct sale of ownership of a product. So for an online business, the sale of merchandise or the sale of a license to use a digital product like a course or an ebook would be considered unit sales. So any of the books that you get, if you get them in ebook format, the transaction through which those data books were acquired would be a unit sale. Also, if you were to get merchandise like over on DATAcated community, any sort of sale that happens from a data business where it's actually a transfer of a good or transfer of a license to use an electronic good, those are unit sales. And the next type of revenue model that works really well is licensing. And so this is where you sell a license to someone in exchange for the right for them to use your intellectual property. So you're selling them the right to use something you created. And by implementing the licensing model, you sell your customer a license. You're selling them a license to use your intellectual property as if it was your own without attribution. So often these types of products go by the name of white label products. And so if you're using any sort of, you've probably seen a lot of them out there actually. There's a lot of analytics SaaS products that are available under white label, which means if you had a data, like an analytics agency, you could actually use their white label product in order to deliver dashboards, or in any of your services through as if the as if the SaaS software was your own. And even something like a Google Data Studio dashboard could be sold as a white label, where the seller could include a right where you could basically change out the attribution and say you created the dashboard, even though you actually purchased it from them. So they give you the right label rights. There's also such things as PLR products, which are private license rights products, and then done for you content, which isn't that popular yet in the data space. Okay, the third model is subscriptions. And essentially, this is the right to access. This is where you sell the right to access your product, service, or community on a subscription and pay as you go basis. So this could even look like if you have a retainer package for your data services, you could sell that retainer package on a subscription basis. Communities like Kate's DATAcated Circle, where data professionals are making a home and gathering to discuss all types of data-related topics. Those type of communities, there's a small fee involved in joining a community like that. And so that would also be considered a subscription. And then also if you are using vendor services for AI SaaS or analytics SaaS products, those are oftentimes sold on subscription basis as well. And then the last type of revenue model that is popular for data startups would be fee for service. And this is simply where you sell your services according to a fixed price, like a lump sum or on an hourly basis. But I recommend not doing hourly basis if at all possible. Anyway, that's not part of this discussion. I do want to cover monetizing at hyperspeed, which I'm not talking at hyperspeed right now. Excuse me. It's almost midnight here. Monetizing at hyperspeed. So yeah. The speed, if you want to, like, the fastest way to monetize always is going to be services. So if you if you just need to make money right away and you have data skills and expertise, then you can always monetize via services. But to take a more strategic approach to figuring out how to monetize in your data startup, you really want to look at the resources you have in place. So if you have community, that's major. And so I just broke it down to, like, if you have community and you want to earn more money, then you would start looking at either unit sales, licensing, or subscriptions. On the other hand, you may have community and really just not have a lot of time. So you actually just want more time. Then you would probably go with unit sales or licensing, just because subscriptions can, depending on how they're set up, and the admin, the support you've built in your business, they can take a lot of time to support. So there's that. And then lastly, if you have time, but you need money and community, then you're looking at fee for services or subscription, where you're selling your service on a retainer basis. So the thing is that community, basically audience and relationships, are a huge part of what make the world go round, both in personal life and in business. So if you don't have those, then those would be like the first things you need to start working on after you get your money issue solved. So that is all I had for today's presentation. All of this is covered in greater detail in the book, for sure. It's 400 pages, and I hope you win. If anyone has any questions, email me at lillian@data-mania.com. And you can also find lots of free resources and training on YouTube if you just search Lillian Pierson. That was all I have.
Ravit, unmute again.
Thanks a lot, Lillian. This was definitely Hyperspeed.
Awesome. Lillian, first of all, speaking live at midnight, I wouldn't even sign up to do this. I'm done by 4 p.m. my time. Usually I'm like, I can't even. This is impressive. So thank you so much for the dedication and commitment to being here with us today.
It's my way of giving back. It's the holidays, and I know there's a lot of people out there in the data community that are looking to, start consulting and stuff like that. So thank you for the opportunity to share my little mini training.
Absolutely, I loved it, and I actually really love the slides. The pixelated style is really fun. So thank you so much. I hope you have a little bit left energy left for a few questions from the audience.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Thanks. We have a question here that I really like from Shruti, and she's asking, what are the few mistakes which are often made during monetizing your revenue model?
I think the biggest thing is building your product before you have customers. I see a lot of people spend a long time, and it's an easy thing to do, building this huge product and never having sold it. Yeah. So that would be a big issue. And yeah, that would be a good one.
Okay, thanks for that. Gilbert's asking, what is your personal favorite business model?
I really like products, so unit sales. I'm not a subscriptions person. I'm not a services. I've productized all my services now, so definitely unit sales.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I keep hearing folks moving from services to products. I even bought a book recently that it's called Productize Your Services or something, because I get it. You want to stop trading your time for money so you can get some of your time back and have freedom to spend time, doing things you like sitting at the beach or whatever.
Well, I have mentoring. I do one-on-one mentoring, but the thing is that it allows having products allows me to scale my expertise, so help more people. Mm-hmm. And then the people that really are at the point where they're at the level in their business where we can go deeper, then I'll have space for them. But if I am doing too much for too many people, I don't have the opportunity to help the people that are ready to go to that next level. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes sense. And we'll just take one last question here from Kaman. He's asking if I pick the wrong revenue model in the beginning, which a lot of times do when we're learning, right? When do you know when it's time to switch the model into something that provides more value to both yourself and your customer?
I think that's really personal. I mean, because yourself and your customers. So clearly, if you're getting either low conversion rates or basically people emailing back saying that your product didn't hit the mark for them, then that would be an immediate pain point. Mm-hmm. But then you have to look at the revenue metrics and seeing how, what's the ROI? So what are you spending on marketing or advertising? And then what are the sales looking like? That would be another issue. So how much profit are you making? And then lastly, it's coming down to you personally and how does it actually make you feel? Are you vested in the thing that you're selling? Do you actually care about it? Yeah. Because you don't want to spend your time doing something that maybe is profitable, but doesn't light you up.
Right, exactly. It's all about being lit up as we are here today for the holidays. Awesome. Well, Lillian, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here today. Maybe at some point tomorrow, you can select the winners based on best questions asked and sort of get in touch with folks directly. We're going to keep this data party moving. So